As I said, do not be.
Hi, Dee. We've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay, I'm here.
Before we get started, I just want to remind the people on the phone to mute your phone because we can hear everything.
I will call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. This is a regular meeting for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
I will. Jim Hale.
Here.
Stephanie Nowers. Here. Dee McKee.
Yep.
Maxwell Sumner.
Present.
Bill Gamble.
Here.
Dmitry Fonoff, are you on the phone? Madam Mayor, he's going to try
I'm
to.
on the phone.
Oh, you are on the phone. Thank you. Ron Bernier, are you on the phone?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, you do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything the members would like to pull from the consent agenda?
This is Dee.
Oh, go ahead. Go
I'd like-
ahead, Assembly
Yeah, I'd
Person.
like. If that was from McKee, it's RS 25107. I have some questions,
Okay,
and that's all.
okay. Assembly Person Nowers?
I could pull AM 25-128. That's on page 6 of 9.
Okay. Is there any other items that anybody would like to pull? Are there any other changes to the agenda? Okay, hearing none, then the agenda is approved as amended. And Madam Clerk, you have those, okay? Yeah. Okay, all right. If you all stand, please. And Denise, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we have some awards to give out, so I'm going to come down and
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So tonight, on occasion, we will do this award we call a Citizen Life Saving Award. And it's a way for the borough to recognize, usually when our first responders encounter something that's remarkable. And so it's a way to recognize members of the community who do something outstanding. And so tonight, we would like to take a moment to recognize two extraordinary members of our community, Maud and Russell Edmonds. Where are they? Yeah, come on. You can come on up front, stand up. We are going to embarrass you profusely tonight. And so I get to read this story. I told the mayor I'm pretty excited about this. So on the evening of July 29th, 2025, they were driving down Trunk Road when they noticed an overturned ATV on the side of the road. Many individuals would have kept driving. It isn't uncommon to see a disabled vehicle along the roadside and for people to continue without stopping. In fact, first responders hear it too often, caller reporting an accident, but they did not stop. But the Edmonds did stop. They trusted their instincts, cared enough to check, and in doing so, saved a life. When they looked more closely at the ATV, they found what no parent ever wants to imagine, a young child pinned underneath, unconscious, not breathing. Russell lifted the machine while Maud called 911. He removed her helmet, and the child eventually took a breath as they prayed over her. Incredibly, she regained consciousness, and miraculously, she was able to be discharged from the hospital the very next day. As parents themselves, the Edmonds saw someone else's child and treated her as if she were their own. Their compassion, their courage, and their willingness to get involved made all the difference on that day. On behalf of the Mat-Su Borough and this community, thank you, Maud and Russell, for being the kind of neighbors who care enough to stop, care enough to act, and care enough to make a difference. It is our honor to present you with this life-saving award and to express on behalf of the borough and this community our deepest gratitude for stepping up to help that day. That'll top the meeting.
Yeah.
So next up, Talon, great.
Well, it's going to be awfully hard to top that. What a wonderful, what a wonderful presentation and a wonderful award. Talon Bovey, I'm an Emergency Operations Center Specialist with the Mat-Su Borough. So thank you all, of course, for supporting this event again. The poster contest is a wonderful part of our Emergency Preparedness Expo, an event we hold each September. So attendance of that event has been wonderful, and we really appreciate all the emergency preparedness resources that we're able to provide kind of exposure to for the community. Tonight, we want to honor our poster contest winners. There was over 86 entries this year, so these winners really showed above and beyond skill in sharing emergency preparedness messages across several different age categories with their posters. So I want to go ahead and welcome them up here one by one for the mayor to present them with a certificate. I'm going to go ahead and read the first one, and then I'll just read the name. Certificate of Achievement. The certificate is proudly awarded to Aiden Watson for first place in the 2025 Emergency Preparedness Expo Poster Contest. Congratulations. Come right up. And if we could just keep each poster contest winner up here, we'll take a quick picture at the end. I'm going to read a couple of names of a few of the students that weren't able to make it. I'd also like to congratulate Elia Silik for first place in the poster contest in that category. Kaz McCrae for first place in his category. You're sweet. That way first. Carla Kulikan Lincoln for first place. Jersey Irish for first place in that category.
We'll stay up for a picture at the end.
Good. Yep. If we can keep it, yeah, we'll bring you all up quick. All right. Carol Dorman, I'm sorry. Carol Dorman for first place. Thank you. Thank you. And Carol was a great volunteer at the event too, so thank you. Oh, yes, your artwork is on the side table, so we'll get that to you. Wonderful. And then we do have second place as well, thanks to the generous folks that helped us with prizes for these folks. So Asher Bordelon for second place. Yeah, his artwork is on the side table as well. They can only hold so many things, so sometimes it's easier if we... Let's get a good picture. Oh, perfect. Congratulations. Austin Antonez is unable to make it with us tonight, but congratulations to him for second place. Taylor Clayton Manelik for second place. Bellamy Doramus for second place in that category. Congratulations. Amber Halverson for second place in that category. I don't believe she was able to make it tonight. And then Leora Pelton for second place in that category. Thank you all. Do you want one more picture with all of them, or you can go? Yeah. All right. All right. Can we get all of the winners back up here? I want one picture with all of you, please, and the mayor. Thank you all for helping us celebrate and honor all of our winners. As you can see, it's a pretty popular contest, and we appreciate you giving time for this. Thanks.
You can come on up. Yeah.
The next item on our agenda is minutes of preceding meetings, and we do not have any that have been presented to us this evening. The next item is agency reports. Don't see anybody from either one of the cities. Okay, school district. Don't see anybody either. Okay. Yeah, I don't see Todd from the state. Joint Assembly, School Board, Community, no? Okay. Do any of the assembly members have any public relation reports? Okay, I don't see any. Mr. Manager, do you have a report? Okay. Mrs. Attorney, do you have a report? No? Okay. Madam Clerk, do you have a report?
The clerk's report is in your red folder with the upcoming meetings, election dates, and quasi-judicial report. And also the state delegation meeting is being recommended, the joint meeting is being recommended for December 18th at 10 a.m. Is that a meeting date that Tim's smiling because he's not going to be attending?
You're going to miss breakfast.
Is that a meeting the assembly would like to schedule for December 18th?
Okay.
And then, oh, sorry, Madam Clerk.
That's fine. I was just going to ask if anybody online had a question. Oh, I guess they're fine too. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
And then last Friday, when we were going over to Division of Elections to set up early voting, one of my employees drove past the Alcantara National Guard Armory. That entrance to that armory is now gone. It's not off Bogard Road. We were not told that, so we just found out Friday. So what we have done, I've handed out what we're sending out to all the voters in that precinct. It's being sent, it's a half postcard to every single voter in the precinct, so they're aware. We're going to be putting, what do you call those, reader boards? We're working with O&M to put a reader board. Hopefully DOT will let us put it right there where that road used to be, so people can take the Tate over to the armory. So if you get any phone calls, we did try to reach out to voters, and that's it.
Okay. The next item on our agenda is citizens and other correspondence. Does anyone have any comments on any of that? Okay. I don't see any or hear any. Okay. And information memorandums, Madam Clerk.
IM 25215, informing the Assembly of the submittal of a United States Department of Transportation Build America Bureau 2025 Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program Grant application requesting $890,000 for development of a Port District Master Plan for Port Road and Rail Loop Improvement Project. IM 25231, informing the Assembly of the manager's signature on and submittal of the federal fiscal year 2025 Emergency Management Performance Grant application requesting $213,082.10 to cover 50% of the wages and benefits for Emergency Operations Center staff.
Are there any comments on the IMs? Hearing none, they are presented. And then under special orders, we have our first audience participation. We do have one person that signed up, but even if you didn't sign up and you do want to address the assembly, there will be opportunity for you to do that. So Jackie?
Good evening, Mayor and Assembly members. My name is Jackie Goforth, and I very much appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. I'm handing out something, because I usually do hand you something to look at. And what you're looking at is the 11 engineering principles of the Frankfurt School of Social Engineering in order to push Marxism and communism into a country. And if you look at number 3, you will see what I am speaking against and what I have been speaking against for the last 2 years, the teaching of sex and homosexuality to children. And it actually goes along with number 11, which is encouraging the breakdown of the family. Now, if you look at the next page, this is what the American Library Association put out in 1948 as a Library Bill of Rights. And in it, it says, a person's right to use a library should not be denied or abridged because of origin, age, background, or views. The addition of age is nowhere listed in the Bill of Rights. It never has been. In fact, obscenity and having sexual content delivered to children is against the law in all 50 states under U.S. Code 18, Chapter 71, Part 1. But if you look at what is going on with the library board, you will see what happened last week. One of the library board members spoke about the First Amendment, and she spoke on the fact that Article 1 says, no person shall be denied the enjoyment of any civil or political right because of race, color, creed, sex, or national origin, which is absolutely correct. That is in the Constitution. But then further on, she said authors have the right to communicate their ideas, and library patrons of all ages have a corresponding right to encounter these ideas. In other words, this is how it's done. You mesh in what isn't true with what is true, and then you push it for 80 years. There is nothing in the Constitution that allows the sexual grooming of children without their parents' knowledge. It's illegal. And yet the American Library Association has been pushing out for almost 8 decades the fact that it is allowed, and it's not. And I am so grateful that this borough removed everything from the American Library Association from the policy, because it isn't a legal document, and it never was. And now the library board members, there are several of them, are trying to get it back in there. And I just want you to know that is what is happening in the library board meetings recently. And I am there every time because I told them I would be. Once I found out that they were having library board meetings, and I actually got the invitation on the public meetings. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow parents who are raising their children a certain way to have their children indoctrinated by something that they don't approve of, because it's illegal. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the assembly on any subject? Do we have anybody? Well, we have one person. Go ahead, whoever's online, please.
My name is Kathy Kaiser, spelled K-Y-S-A-R. Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the Borough Assembly. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. I'm here to raise a concern that affects not just our libraries, but the values we hold as a community. the increasing push to censor adult materials in our public libraries. The issue isn't theoretical. It's happening right now in our library board meetings, where some members, who are not trained librarians, are flagging materials that professional librarians have selected for purchase. These are not arbitrary choices. Our librarians follow a well-established, transparent collection development policy that guides the inclusion of materials based on relevance, quality, and the diverse needs of our patrons. When untrained individuals override these decisions, we undermine the expertise of professionals who are committed to serving the entire community. Librarians are not just book selectors. They are stewards of intellectual freedom, trained to balance access, appropriateness, and representation. Their work ensures that our libraries remain inclusive, educational, and reflective of the world we live in. Censorship, when framed as protection, is a slippery slope. Today, it's adult fiction or sexual health resources. Tomorrow, it could be political commentary, LGBTQ literature, or books that challenge dominant narratives. Once we allow subjective discomfort to dictate policy, we risk silencing voices that deserve to be heard. Let's be clear, removing materials doesn't protect people, it limits them. It disproportionately affects marginalized communities and restricts access to information that fosters empathy, understanding, and growth. Instead of banning books, let's just trust our librarians. Let's uphold our collection development policy, and let's empower individuals to make informed choices using tools libraries already provide: reviews, ratings, and guidance. In closing, I urge you to resist the pressure to censor. Stand with our librarians, stand with intellectual freedom, and stand with the idea that public libraries should serve everyone, not just those who agree with us. Thank you.
Have anybody else online? No? Okay. One last chance for anyone here that would like to address the assembly on any subject. Okay, seeing nobody, then we'll go ahead and close audience participation. And Madam Clerk.
For public hearing, Resolution 25072, a resolution approving 2026 state legislative priorities. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press *3.
Okay, I'm going to open up the public hearing. We do not have a sign-up sheet, okay? Even if you didn't sign up, if you would like to give input on this resolution, you're welcome to do that at this time. And testimony at this time will be restricted to Resolution 25-072. Ready? Have anybody online, Kayla? No? Okay, so I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt Resolution 25-072, and I'd like to offer two amendments on behalf of the Fish and Wildlife Commission.
Sure.
A question for the clerk. Madam Clerk, can I do these both at the same time, or do I need to take them separately?
It is, now we're going to do all of them.
I'm just looking at it. I
Okay.
apologize.
Okay, no problem. Let's give the clerk a minute here.
Is it all have to do with item A, Assemblymember Gamble?
One is fishery management, the other one is fishery protection. They're two different amendments, but.
Two different areas.
Right.
I think you can do them both at the same time.
Okay, and is it all right if I just read the changes instead of the complete document?
Say that again.
Is it okay if I just read the changes instead of the complete amendment?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, here we go. I move to amend Resolution 25-072, Action Priority, Section J, Fishery Management as follows. Under Bullet Point 2, strike increase and insert while exploring sonar capabilities to maintain monitoring during high water events. Under Bullet Point 4, insert to adequately meet Northern Cook Inlet salmon escapement goals while providing harvest opportunities throughout the season. And under bullet point number 6, strike list, strike as stocks of yield concern, and insert support ADF and G designation of Deshka coho salmon at the appropriate stock of concern levels, and help during 2026. I also move to amend Resolution 25-072, Funding Priority, Section 7, Fishery Protection as follows. Under item 7, strike improved, strike 5,
Sorry, I think that was me.
okay, strike secure, more consistent, strike resume operation of Upper Cook Inlet Commercial Test Net Fishery, strike prioritized procurement of. Did I? Okay. And strike 2025, strike 2025. Thank you. So under item 7, fishery protection, paragraph 1, insert stabilized, insert sonar, insert 2026, insert 6. Under paragraph 2, insert provide stabilized, insert testing of sonar augmentation, insert maintain adequate, under paragraph 3, insert maintain adequate, insert recurring seasonal staff hiring should be exempt from hiring freeze delays. And I'd like to speak to him.
Yes, go ahead.
Did you
sir.
strike the words Assemblymember Gamble?
I'm sorry, say again?
Did you strike the words or just add the words provided stabilized instead of secure, more consistent? Did you strike those? Sorry, I only heard you read the additions.
I struck improved and the word 5. Okay, in the first paragraph. Did you get everything else? Nope. Do you want me to read it again?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. Thank you, Lonnie. So I brought these amendments on behalf of the Fish and Wildlife Commission, of which I'm a member, and all these amendments do is update their state legislative priorities to reflect their current priorities. And Assemblymember Hale, if you have anything to add, you're at the meeting also.
If I may, Madam Mayor? Yeah, so this is pretty complete here. This is pretty much what the Fish and Wildlife Commission had recommended to us at the last meeting. I think it's important to make sure that these priorities stay current with what we have done and what we intend to accomplish. And I think this is really great. And I want to thank the folks on the Fish and Wildlife Commission for all their hard work.
Further discussion on the amendment? Yes, Assemblyperson Hours, go ahead.
I just also wanted to thank the Assemblymember Gamble for bringing it forward, and our Fish and Wildlife Commission for having such a great commission with so much knowledge and trying to do so much to try to protect and rebuild our runs out here.
Okay, yes, Assemblyperson Hale, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had a point of clarification. I noticed that in this amendment, under the action priorities, this is listed as A. Would this put this as A in our action priorities, or would it still be under J?
If part of the amendment was to move it to A, then it would be moved to A. Did you mean to move it from J to A, Assemblymember Gamble?
Just a point of clarification.
I'm sorry, I'd have to go back and look at it. So it wouldn't be item A under section J?
Right now, it is item J, but it's listed here on the amendment as item A. So do you want it to be moved up to item A?
Yes.
As part of your amendment? Okay.
Further discussion on the amendment? Is there any objection to the amendment? Okay, seeing and hearing none, amendment number 1 has been approved. Are there further amendments? Do you have one, sir? Okay.
I move to amend Resolution 25072 as follows. Remove item E under Borough Action Priorities, support for modifying Alaska Statute 34.08 Common Interest Ownership Act. If I could speak to it.
Go ahead.
You guys might seem like deja vu. I think that was the first meeting that I was on the assembly. I asked to remove this. Wasn't really sure myself. Wasn't sure. It kind of took me as a shock because I had only just read the packet. I think the night before or a few days before. But I still strongly believe that we should remove this from our legislative priorities, and I have some justification. I think that unless there's a real issue to solve or there's a tangible benefit to the community, citizens' rights and property rights should not be eroded by the government. And that's what this is. This is an expansion of regulation, it's expansion of bureaucracy, expansion of government control, and it's an erosion of property rights. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're not impacting your neighbors detrimentally, it's not really any of the government's business to tell you what you can do or not do on your property, or who can own your parcel, or who you can sell fractional ownership of your parcel to. We already have driveway permits. We already have density thresholds in our permitting for how many units of housing you can build. We have fire code for commercial. We already have land controls, which the Common Interest Ownership Act does not supersede. So I just don't see why we should be asking the state to erode property rights on our behalf.
Okay, further discussion on the amendment? Assemblyperson Hill, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm not completely familiar with the Common Interest Ownership Act that's as it's written. What is it that it says and that it does?
Go ahead, sir.
If you might.
I mean, that might be better explained by a member of staff than me, but essentially it says that, in a nutshell, my belief is that it says that the government can't treat your parcel or your property rights any differently because it's owned by multiple people than if it was owned by one. So you can't discriminate on how you're going to create land ownership or land ordinances based on how it's owned. So you see this kind of fractional ownership in condominiums and shopping malls and stuff like that.
So this is directly to deal with the condominium plat issue that we've seen before us a couple times before.
I mean, you could say that this is, if you got rid of this Common Interest Ownership Act, that then you could regulate condo plats the same way that you regulate neighborhoods with the subdivision construction manual. I believe I'm correct in saying that.
Okay. Assemblyperson Hours, go ahead.
I think I'm going to oppose this for the same reason that I opposed it last time. So this is condo plats, and basically that allows you to create a neighborhood without going through the platting process that any other subdivision would go through. And then I think the risk here is the valley is kind of littered with places where we have allowed development to happen, and then what happens is the person who owned it walks away from it, and the borough taxpayers on the hook for fixing the problem. So I can think of down in the ranch, the lighting in that neighborhood was turned over to the HOA. There's no lighting in the neighborhood. Over in the Butte, there's some real legacy neighborhoods where they had a common sewer septic, and the owner walked away from that, and there was nobody to manage it. And I think we have like a 1,500 acre condo plat going in Talkeetna, and I don't understand having dual tracks when it comes to the basic regulations that we put subdivisions through. So just making sure that fire access is good, that you've got turnarounds for snow plows, because if these developments happen and then the person walks away from it, the neighborhood's going to come to the borough and say, I can't get a fire truck in here, I can't do this, and we're going to be on the hook for it. So I think we put together in our subdivisions, in our planning board, just basic regulations. So I think these guys should be subject to the same thing. I think it doesn't put onerous regulations on them. It just keeps everybody on a level plane. And I think that's the reason we had this on our priority list to begin with, is just to make sure that developments didn't happen that then ended up costing the rest of the taxpayers to bring up to the standard that everybody else has to comply with.
Further discussion on the amendment? Go ahead, sir.
I mean, I guess my response to that would be that, a common interest in one parcel is not a subdivision. It might act like a subdivision, but, we have regulations for multifamily permits. If you put more than 6 units on a lot, regardless of size, you have to have roads that meet the subdivision construction manual. You have to have roads that meet IFC. So, we are regulating these things. I would also say that, the lighting in the ranch, I mean, that had nothing to do with the condominium plat because that was a regular neighborhood subdivision plat. It's not a condo plat. So, we already have, I just don't think the answer, anytime there's a problem, the government can't solve every problem. And the answer to every problem isn't just diminish people's rights or take away property rights.
Okay, yes, Assemblyperson Bowers.
Just a response, the lighting, you're right. I mean, it isn't a condo plant issue. It's just an example of how the neighborhoods get left with things that then the borough gets asked to fix. And so, when it comes to like your land, you do with it what you will, but if you're trying to subdivide that, you go through the platting process, and it just makes sure that, I mean, again, you're just making sure some of those basic things happen, like fire access. So I don't see a reason to exempt other people from that. I don't think our platting process is so onerous. So anyways, I think we've gone back and forth, but that's the reason I'm going to oppose this, because I see costs coming to the borough if we allow certain entities to not go through the process, and the other ones do.
Okay, so I guess we do, any further discussion by anyone? Okay, I guess we do have an objection, so Madam Clerk.
I can get the members in the room to go ahead and vote. Assemblymember McKee on the amendment.
Okay, now just clarify to me what I am voting for. I'm voting against or for this amendment on Section E of the priorities, the legislative priorities?
Correct, taking Section
Just
E
the-
out of the priorities. Yes takes it out, no
Okay,
keeps
so,
it in.
so, no.
Assemblymember Fonoff.
Yes.
Assemblymember Bernier.
Yes.
Madam Mayor, it has passed with Assemblymember, excuse me, it has failed. It's hard, I got 3 and 4 here. Give me a second. It passed. Thank you, With Assemblymember Hale, Nowers, and McKee opposed.
Are there further amendments to Resolution 25-072? Okay.
I have kind of a clerical one. So I move to amend resolution number 25-072 as follows: to remove item M under Borough Action Priority, support for establishing the Alaska Energy Independence Program and the Alaska Energy Independence Fund. And the reason to remove this is because this passed last year.
Okay. Discussion about this amendment. Any objection to this amendment? Seeing and hearing none, then the amendment has passed. Are there any further? Yes, Summer, go ahead.
I move to amend Resolution 25-072 as follows: change borough action priorities to have 2 sections, one section with no more than 6 of the Assembly's highest priorities, and a second section with the remaining priorities. Funding priorities will remain unchanged. If I could speak to it.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I mean, coincidentally, we have 2 ex-House reps here in the audience, so maybe they can attest to this. But my experience in Juneau is if you go to Juneau with a laundry list of your requests, it's really easy for the state reps to say, "Oh, I'm working on all of it. I'm working on all of it," or just ignore all of it and throw it in the trash can, and because it's just too much. I think that if we I proposed 6 because I'm okay not proposing one. After this, if we pass this, we would propose another amendment after some discussion to have everyone's first choice be put on this high priority list. So everyone in the Assembly would choose a single priority that they think they should be on this top list. I think that'd be important to have some accountability to our representatives and say, this is what's important to the Assembly. These are the highest priority things, and can we get these done? I mean, if you look at our priority list, a Kinnick Arm Crossing is on there. And I would love to have a Kinnick Arm Crossing, and I don't think we should remove it. But the likelihood of that happening or the state doing that is very, very low. So, why is that on the list above some of the other things that are, like getting the troopers staffed? So that's my justification.
Okay, further discussion on this amendment. Is there objection to this amendment? Okay, hearing and seeing no objection, and this amendment has passed. Any further amendments from the assembly? Go ahead, sir.
I guess I would have another amendment to populate this list. I think this is how Lonnie told me we should do it. So I guess we just open it up to discussion and everyone would propose their top priority and we would add it to the list and make an amendment for that.
Assembly Person
Madam Mayor,
Gamble?
if Assemblymember Sumner would entertain this, I need to make a correction to one of the amendments that I introduced when I said it should be Section A after further review. I don't know why the A is in there. It should, under fishery management, everything should just be under Section J like it is in the resolution. So I guess if I need to go back and amend my amendment to take out the Section A and put it, fishery management, back under Section J like it reads in the original resolution. So that's my amendment.
You got it? Okay. Discussion on that amendment then? Or is it, do we need a separate amendment on it then, or just instruction?
Madam Mayor, it's
instruction
just
to-
moving it back to Section J.
Okay, and so you're fine with that, yeah. Assemblyperson Hale, go ahead.
So are we on Mr. Sumner's amendment or are we on Mr. Gamble's amendment?
Madam Mayor?
Yeah.
We are on Assemblymember Gamble's because Assemblymember Sumner wanted to open up a discussion first before an amendment was made to make the top priorities.
Okay. On Mr. Gamble's amendment, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be listed under A. I would say that the fisheries action priority should be one of our top 6 that we're going to include in the top 6. So I would just leave it right there at Section A and make it one of the top 6.
Assemblymember Gamble.
Okay.
So under Section A right now, the current action priorities are the Alaska State Trooper staffing. So you want to
That would,
Do you wanna
I'm
move-
assuming everything would just then
move down?
move down one level and troopers would be Section B.
Okay,
which
I withdraw
probably-
I withdraw my amendment, that's fine.
Your objection to withdraw.
Okay, any objection to withdraw? Okay, don't hear anything online, so, okay. Alrighty, so now we're back, I guess, to your general discussion. Do you want to start it off, sir?
I mean, I think funding the troopers should be the highest priority. The trooper staffing levels would be my recommendation. But like I said, if we have concurrence and multiple people agree, then, my primary amendment was for 6. So I'm okay with sitting it out if everyone else has an idea.
Assemblyperson Hale?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. So when I was looking at this amendment, while we were doing other things in the agenda, I actually did kind of list my top 6, which would be the new A, fisheries, B, the troopers, C, the forestry beetle kill, D, the healthcare, and then H, which is a DOT maintenance facility in the valley, and J, state land transfers to the borough. I'm amenable to other folks proposing their own, but those would be my top 6.
Okay, Assemblyperson Gamble?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So Hale has he's sort of the king of the hill right now. Is anybody going to knock one of those out and put in a different one that they want, or what? Okay.
Yeah,
go
I mean,
ahead.
I would, where is it? I want to get the wording right. Hold on a second. Where there's a lot of good ones in here.
You see why it hasn't been prioritized in the past.
Yeah.
Remember.
Assemblyman hours, go ahead.
I would pick a top 5. So, the Alaska State Trooper staffing.
You guys could say the letter along with it. It would really
Okay,
help
well,
me
we
track it a
changed
little
the
better.
letters.
I
Do you-
know.
Okay.
I know.
That part was confusing me. Okay, I'll try. Alaska State Trooper staffing, B, the state forestry, getting rid of our beetle-killed spruce, which is now C, doing something about our healthcare, or at least being the squeaky wheel on that, D, getting J, the state land transfers to the Matsu Borough. That'd almost be my number 1 priority if we were gonna list these. And then K, the fisheries management. So that's my top 5. So I think we got a lot of agreement.
Okay, somebody
That
online?
was all broken up on the.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am. This
Okay,
it
go
was all
ahead.
garbled.
Was it all
I
garbled?
cannot hear. It was, ma'am.
Okay, so
You give them because I did.
so did you get assembly person hours 5?
Negative.
Okay. Alrighty. Do you have some changes, or anybody online have some changes? So we really have 2
I have a
competing.
question. This is the Bishop Product.
Go ahead.
Last time when we took the ratio, there was a section, the ones that had the financial physical impact, and the other ones that just that didn't have financial impact. Are we going to separate those into separate pages, or they're going to be mixed together? And I think that Manager Brown might be able to say, because I know we've had the legislative priorities that were very clear, like on one page where we had something that did have financial impact, which was a more of a wish list, and the other things that was just legislative stuff that could be done without financial impact.
I'm not sure I understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's very garbled on this end. Are you agreeing with either of the 2 that we have, or are you coming up with your own?
No. My question was, last time when we had state legislative priorities, we had lists that had fiscal note, and the ones that just the legislative stuff that can be done without any money involved. And I wanted to know if we're also going to have separation on separate pages, the 2 sections.
Okay, I think we have an answer, sir. Hold on.
So through the mayor to Mr. Fanoff, the way I understood the amendment Mr. Sumner made is what they're reprioritizing now are what we call the action priorities, which are more legislative in nature or are like in the operating budget at the state level, like state troopers. The funding priorities, which have the numerals listed separate in a separate section, would stay the same.
Okay. So in that case, if the ones that the staff and troopers would be number 1 priority, or the one that doesn't require the financial stuff included, but then my top number 1 would be to give control for us for the length of the terms for the school board and for commissions.
Okay, so I'm sorry, where did you want to put that at?
I didn't understand.
Okay, the school board one, he wants to change.
That,
Go ahead, sir.
go ahead. I'll listen. No, I said if we're going to separate the ones that does have fiscal impact and that's not, the troopers would be the one and the giving us the control of the terms for the school board is the one that's going to be number 1 that does fiscal impact.
I'm sorry, Assembly Person, there's a lot of shaking heads here. I don't think we're quite, maybe Assembly is Sumner, do you understand?
I heard him say that he, if there's a fiscal note attached and it's separate, that the troopers would be number 1 if it wasn't on a separate list. Otherwise, W, which is the 4-year school board term, would be his top choice. Is that correct, Mr. Fallon?
So that would go on your list?
Lonnie, are you keeping track of this?
No.
Oh,
From what I do understand, it sounded to me like what Assemblymember Sumner said is without the, regardless of the funding items, W would be Assemblymember Fonoff's number one on his priority list.
And that's the school board,
Yes, and that doesn't have anything to do with funding, correct?
right? So
Sorry,
that
I
would-
recalled I called again, so hopefully you can hear me a little.
We could hear you there.
So on our
Okay, I
list,
was just, I was not hearing things, but I think somebody who was clarifying, I don't know if it was Max or somebody, I had the two separate sections, and that's why I said one that did have physical mode was the one that priorities for the staff and the troopers, and the one that did not have physical bias to give us control of the length of the term for the commissions and the school board length.
so is he adding that to Sumner's?
No, he's
No.
just talking about what his his number one things are.
Oh,
There's no motion on the
okay.
floor right yet now.
Yeah, so he hasn't come up with the other four?
No.
Just that's one?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, Assemblyperson Hale, straighten
Yeah.
us out here.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In the interests of hopefully the spirit of Mr. Sumner's intention here, I'm going to try and make a motion that may be a little bit confusing. So I would move that each assembly person choose one priority. And when we have all chosen our priority, we can then discuss the full list and make amendments to that full list as secondary amendments at that point, and then adopt the prioritized list.
Okay, all righty. Do you want to start, sir, with your number one?
My number one will be A, fisheries.
Fisheries, okay. And Assemblyperson Hours, are you ready for your number one? Okay, Gamble, number one?
Mike.
Thank you. That's the first time I think I've done that. At least that's my story. My first priority would be now I believe it would be G, support for corporate tax holiday for Port McKenzie District. And my rationale for that is that the port right now is at a critical point in its development, and anything we can do to make or to attract economic development in the port district, we should be putting our support behind. And so that would be my number one priority.
Okay. Okay, Assemblyperson Sumner, do you have ready for yours?
well, I did say that I would abstain from, but I agree with Mr. Fonoff with the old W, which is the 4-year school board terms.
Assemblyperson Nowers, are you ready, or should I go to the people online? Okay, Assemblyperson McKee, have you chosen number one?
Mine's fisheries management.
Okay, fisheries, all right.
I think that's Jay. Is that Jay?
I don't, yeah.
It's the new A right now, Assemblymember McKee.
Oh, thank you, Lonnie.
But we understood what you
I was
were
thinking that was
saying.
out there. Already got it. Thank you.
But we only have 6.
Okay, as Deputy Mayor, you're number one?
The state troopers,
State Troopers, okay. And then Assemblyperson Fowler, are you still staying with your number one, or are you changing?
the same, the school board and the commission terms for us to have the control over it.
Okay. So Assemblyperson now or never.
Well,
Well, I guess I can go back and push on
Yeah.
Assembly Sumner a little bit, so.
I definitely, number one would be the new J, state land transfers to the Matsu Borough. I think that solves
Okay.
a lot of problems, but I would hate to lose a couple of the others that are like the healthcare and the the beetle kill, so I don't know where we're sitting on numbers.
Nobody has mentioned them yet, or at least I haven't mentioned them.
You want me to go over what we have, Madam Mayor?
Sure.
Right now, we've got fisheries with 2 people, state land transfer with 1 person. Give me a second. Support for corporate tax, holiday for Port McKenzie. Okay, we got 2 for the 4-year school board term. And we have got troopers, state troopers, 2, 1 for state troopers. So we have 5 right now.
Okay, Assemblyperson Sumner, go ahead.
I mean, the original amendment says no more than 6, so we can go with 5, and it's not like these things aren't a priority still. They're just not our highest priority. If we have some overachieving legislators that achieve all 5 of these, well, we can choose 5 more next year.
Sure. I think, are we ready for a motion?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I move to amend Resolution 25072 to put, can I just say the old letters? Because that's what I have written down.
Just do the old letters. It'll make life a lot easier right now.
To populate the list of our top priorities with A, fisheries, G, the port tax holiday, B, trooper staffing, W, school board 4-year term, and J, the state land transfers.
Okay. Discussion on, yes, Assemblyperson Hale.
I would I would like to make a secondary amendment to add D, healthcare, the healthcare issue, which was originally C, but is now D with the moving down of everything.
Okay,
What did he?
healthcare.
Okay. Which letter is that?
I don't have the things here, so, yeah. So we should take, then we need to vote on that one first?
Yes,
And then
correct.
go back in, okay.
Yep.
So, discussion on adding healthcare.
I have a question. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so if now does that mean we can all go and add another priority of ours, which then defeats the purpose of having the top 5?
Yeah, this would be a 6th one, sir, if it passed, is my understanding, right, Madam Clerk? Yeah, yes, so if this
I
one.
would be. I would be. Okay, I would be opposing that because I think we named all 1. That's important to us, and if we're going to start adding, then all of us should have an option to add another one. Then that list becomes top 10 instead of top 5.
Okay, alrighty, so any other discussion on adding healthcare? Okay, I understand we do have an objection, Madam Clerk.
I can get the members in the room to go
Okay, so,
ahead and
excuse me,
vote on.
Before we do that,
Okay, so, well, there was an amendment to add healthcare, which would be number 6. And so since that was added last and the amendment was made last, we are voting on that now. So if you want to have 6 instead of 5, then you would go
So-
ahead and
so that's what
vote
we're-
yes for
so that's what we're-
healthcare.
yes gives us just for the healthcare edition, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, then I'll vote yes.
I can get the members in the room to go ahead and vote. Assemblymember Fonoff.
No.
Assemblymember Bernier.
No.
Assemblymember McKee.
Yes.
Madam Mayor, it passed with Assemblymember Fonoff and Bernier opposed. So now we're back to the top 6. We're back to the primary amendment.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Can I ask for a point just here to clarify then? So we just have top six, no 1, 2, 3, like there is no number 1, number 2, number 3. Do I understand that correctly? I mean, I know may seem like a silly question, but I just need to know if I'm asked what's your number 1 priority, well, there isn't one, there's 6. I mean, I just need to understand what that is.
Yes, Assemblyperson.
I mean, my interpretation is that fisheries is at the top because that was moved to A, and then it goes
The
B, the
next one is
troopers,
support.
and then subsequently in the lettering that was
Okay.
already
The wa-
existing.
The way I have them down, and let's see if this, or maybe, let's have the clerk read them in the order she has, so, because that's the official, so what is your order, ma'am?
Well, my order right now is using the current letters is A, the troopers, G.
That was supposed to be fisheries.
That should be fisheries.
Madam Mayor.
Okay.
Support for Alaska Department of Transportation and Public Facilities, maintenance facility in the borough. Oh, I don't know if we were using current letters now.
No, neither one
idea.
of them were on the list that I have. I don't know. I really,
AGBWJ is what I got. Yeah, I didn't have time for that.
okay. Okay, so let me read what I have, and then everybody yell loud if it's not what they have. So fisheries, Point
Hold on,
McKenzie.
Can I need to write this down, Madam Mayor. If you guys
Okay.
can give me just a second.
Okay, well, I'm not sure that I have it right either, but we're gonna,
Got it.
and then school board, state troopers,
Hold on. Okay.
state land transfers, and then healthcare. I think we can all agree on healthcare is 6, right? Okay, Assemblyperson Hale.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To the manager through the mayor, my understanding is this list was not prioritized before, and so I don't think that it's necessary for us to identify these top 6 in a numerical order, but these top 6 being our top priorities above the rest is my understanding.
Further discussion on that point, Assemblyperson Gamble.
Yeah, when you go to Juneau and you pass this list around, unless you're there to speak to it, and tell them that this is not our priorities in order, I can almost guarantee you that the legislators will think that this is our priorities in order. So I think that we really should prioritize what we've chosen.
This is Dee, and I agree with Bill because there were only 2 that had two votes. Every other thing was 1. So fisheries was 2, and school board terms was 2. Yeah, those are the top 2 vote getters, if you will. So I think that when the legislature sees this, and if they see fisheries at the top, they'll say, "Yep, this is what they want. This was their number 1." So do we decide? I mean, that's what. And I'm following this from remotely here. That's what it looked like to me. Just the way you read them.
Yeah, Assemblyperson Nowers.
I think I look at this list of also like what we are likely to get and what we're likely to just be speaking about down at the legislature, and it'll continue to be a discussion. So I think from that standpoint, the fisheries and I guess the corporate tax break might be the ones I think the fisheries and the troopers I'd put 1, 2. And then the others, I sure hope we'd have discussions about those and try to get them done, but fisheries and troopers.
May I also say that? I agree with Mr. Gamble and Ms. McKee because where we went last year, it was important to have them somewhat of in the order. And if the purpose was of getting pretty much voting for our top 1 priorities, we had 2 of them that had 2 number 2, 2 of them that had 2 votes. So I think the other one can go to random or the way it were, but on the top 2, I think they should be in top 2. And as a matter of fact, maybe I would like to offer for us to choose which one would be number 1 of these 2 so that we do have them lined out.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, Madam Clerk, are you with us where we are now?
Madam Mayor, first I need to know if these are going to be the top 6. And if you guys want to put them in another order, there needs to be another amendment to this.
Okay, Assemblyperson Hale.
So to be clear, we're still on Mr. Sumner's motion to adopt these as the top
Top
six.
6, correct.
Okay, I would make a secondary amendment to adopt them in the order of A, fisheries, B, troopers, C, tax holiday, D, the healthcare, E, the land transfers, and F, the 4-year school board terms.
Okay, discussion then on that amendment. If anybody needs that read
I
again.
objected because I think the one that had 2 votes ended up being on the proposal of the last one. That defeats the purpose of why we had 2 votes.
Okay, further discussion.
Is there any? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Dee. Is there anybody who voted for either one of those willing to just, I don't know, add their vote to something else? I mean, I'm very passionate about the fish thing, so I'd sure that stays at the top. Not so much about the school board terms, but apparently somebody else was. That was their big deal. So does that person, whoever those 2 people are, do they care, or do we accept? Who was the last gentleman that spoke and put them in the order of fish, troopers, tax holiday, healthcare? Who was that? Was that Tim?
Assemblyperson Hale.
Yeah,
That's the
I like that order.
That's the latest amendment that we have on the floor before us.
Yeah. Okay, I'm for that one.
Okay. So I think we have an objection.
I think we do too.
All righty, so the clerk's gonna get you to vote here.
Get the members in the room to vote on that order.
Voting on Hale's order: fish, troopers, tax holiday, healthcare, land, 4 years.
Correct.
If that's what we're voting on, then yeah, okay, I'm for that.
Hold
Yes.
on just a second. Let me get other people's vote. Assemblymember McKee. Assemblymember
sure.
Bernier.
Yes.
Assemblymember Fonoff.
No.
Assemblymember McKee.
Yes.
Madam Mayor, it is passed with Assemblymember Sumner and Assemblymember Fonoff opposed. Now we're on the primary amendment as
I'd like to
amended.
make a secondary amendment. And I want to add the one that had 2 votes, which is the school board term, to be put as number 2 because it had 2 votes, and still read the fisheries as number 1.
So what I understand him to say is that he wants the fisheries 1, school board 2, and then he didn't say how the rest of them were going to be.
And the rest to remain in the same order. We're just taking the school boards and putting them on number 2 because they had the second amount of votes in there, or equal to first.
Okay, so according to what I have, then school board would exchange with troopers. So troopers would drop to 3. Okay, Assemblyperson Hale.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm opposed to this. I think that the last vote was pretty clear that the order that we put it in was pretty good. And I think that I think that the troopers are certainly a more clear need in the valley than 4-year school board terms. So I'm going to oppose this.
Okay, so the amendment before you is to put the school board in number 2, then troopers would go to number 3.
Want me to say the order, Madam Mayor?
Go ahead.
Fisheries, school board, tax holiday, troopers, healthcare, and land transfer. Excuse me,
And
troopers
health.
comes before how? Tax holiday.
Right, and then healthcare was, it was D, but now it would be
Healthcare and then
V.
land transfer.
Yeah. Discussion.
I kind of don't know why we're doing
that
that.
order. Go ahead.
Yeah, because as Tim said, we voted, and with two opposed, I think it was two opposed, and with the order that we had, which was fisheries troopers, holiday, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why we're, taking that vote out and doing that again.
Yeah, well, ma'am, as you
May I
know,
explain?
anybody can move anything they want to.
Ms. McKee, I'd like to explain that.
If this goes on for another half hour, we'll just cancel it. I'll veto the whole thing and we'll be done. We won't have any priorities because the state doesn't have any money. So this is all sort of useless as far as I'm concerned, but go ahead. Simply for an hour.
Call the question.
Is there any objection to calling the question? Okay, Madam Clerk.
If the members in the room could go ahead and vote. Assemblymember McKee,
Voting on,
we're voting
that was
on the,
voting on, phone
Yeah, to
the new,
switch the
the new
Yeah.
order.
no.
Assemblymember Fawnoff,
Yes.
Assemblymember Bernier,
Yes.
Madam Mayor, it is failed with Assemblymember Fawnoff and Bernier in support. We are back to the primary amendment as amended.
Okay, so we're back to the 10-minute ago motion, right? Okay. Assemblyperson Hale.
I'd like to call the question on the primary amendment.
Okay. Any objection to calling the question? Okay. Madam Clerk.
Is there any objection to the
Any
primary?
objection? That's a good idea. Any objection to
Yes,
the
I'll
motion?
object.
Somebody does object.
Yes.
Okay, thank
If I
you.
get the members in the room to go ahead and vote on the main motion. The primary amendment, I guess I should say.
Would you repeat the primary amendment, please?
The primary amendment is putting the six as the top priority of fisheries, troopers, tax holiday, healthcare, land transfer, and 4-year school board terms. Assemblymember
Thank you.
Fawnoff,
No.
Assemblymember McKee,
Yes.
Assemblymember Bernier,
Yes.
Madam Mayor, it passed with Assemblymember Fawnoff opposed, and now we're back to the main motion as amended.
So now we're back to Resolution 25-072 as amended. Further amendments or Assemblyperson Hale?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to call the question on the main motion.
Okay, is there any objection to calling the question? Seeing none, then Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready.
Is there a amendment?
Is there objection to passing the Resolution 25-072 as amended? Is there objection? Hearing no objection, then Resolution 25-072 has been passed as amended.
Resolution 25073, a resolution approving the 2026 federal legislative priorities.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing on Resolution 25-073. We do not have a sign-up sheet. Does anybody like to testify on the federal legislative priorities? Nobody online? Okay. So I'll close the public hearing, and Assemblyperson Gamble.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt Resolution 25-073.
Okay. Discussion by the Assembly. Any amendments? Assemblyperson Powers?
I don't have any amendments. I would just make a comment that, we're trying to figure out our energy supply, and we've got some really significant requests for extending our natural gas lines. And if we're going to be looking at coal or nuclear or importing natural gas, we just might want to like, hopefully we get a natural gas line and we'll have some, we might have some clarity on that in the next few months. So I think we might want to revisit this depending on what happens with the natural gas line. I don't want to see us spend 50 million on extending natural gas lines and then have to fill it with imported natural gas. So I think it's fine for now. Hopefully we get the natural gas line. Let's just keep in mind to relook at this when we get a little more clarity on that natural gas line, which hopefully we will.
Is there any objection to Resolution 25-073? Okay, seeing and hearing no objection, then Resolution 25-073 has been approved. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25-112, an ordinance appropriating Talkeetna Sewer and Water Fund reserves in the amount of $40,353.38 to pay off debt associated with Talkeetna community water upgrades. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press star 3.
I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing on ordinance number 25-112. We do not have a sign-up sheet. Anyone would like to testify on this ordinance? Nobody online? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing then. Assemblyperson Gamble.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt ordinance 25-112.
Okay, discussion? Any objection to the ordinance? Seeing and hearing none, then the ordinance has passed. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25-113, an ordinance accepting and appropriating a grant in the amount of $9,700 from the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals for the Dog Kennel Enrichment Upgrades Project with accompanying resolution 25095, a resolution approving the scope of work and budget for the Dog Kennel Enrichment Upgrades Project. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press star 3.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing on ordinance 25-113 and resolution 25-095. Sign up sheets for something else, huh? Okay. Anybody online, Caleb? No? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Assemblyperson Gamble?
Assembly member Nowers, I do.
Nowers, okay, sorry.
I move to adopt ordinance 25-113 and resolution 25-095.
Okay. Any discussion from the assembly? Any objection from the assembly? Okay. So then ordinance 25-113 and resolution 25-095 have been adopted. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25-114, an ordinance accepting and appropriating a grant in the amount of $35,000 from the State Department of Military and Veterans Affairs for Phase 1 of the Tsunami Warning Sirens Project with accompanying resolution 25097, a resolution approving the scope of work and budget for Phase 1 of Tsunami Warning Sirens Project. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press star 3.
I'll open the public hearing on ordinance 25-114 and resolution 25-097. We do not have a sign-up sheet. We do not have anybody online. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And Assemblyperson Gamble, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt ordinance 25-114 and accompanying resolution 25-097.
Okay, discussion by the assembly? Yes. Go ahead, ma'am.
Kind of trying to wrap my head around the tsunami that's going to hit the Matsu. So I guess I'm just trying to understand where we think we're going to need tsunami warning sirens. Like what land in the borough is at risk from the tsunami? Because I thought we were generally pretty safe from this. And 35,000 seems like a lot for sirens. But
Come forth, staff. Thank you.
Come forward, staff. My name's Casey. I'm the emergency manager for the borough. So I kind of heard your question, Assemblymember Nowers, wanted to know what parcels of land or what areas. So right now they're kind of broadly defined. One's by the Reddington boat out on KGB. There's a neighborhood out there. The other one is kind of by Mockintons Elementary, kind of in the flats. And the other one's on the Old Glen Highway across the river in Butte. There's 2 little neighborhoods over there that, with this new study that came in, could be inundated by a tsunami. So those are the 3 general areas.
Thank you. Assemblyperson Hale?
Yeah, the neighborhoods in Butte, would that be Circle View Estates there?
No, it's on the other side of the river.
On the
Yeah,
on the other side, really?
yeah. I can't remember the names of them. Windsong, I think, is one of them.
Windsor.
So this study would be to really go and show where they'd be located specifically.
Okay, further questions of staff? Yes, Assemblyperson Gamble, go ahead.
Not so much a question, but a request. I'd like to get a copy of that study if I could, Casey.
Sure.
Can I? Thank you.
The university study?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Any other questions of staff? Guess not. Thank you, sir. Further discussion on the ordinance and the resolution by the Assembly? Any objection to ordinance 25-114 and resolution 25-097? Okay, hearing none, then the legislation passes. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25-115, an ordinance accepting and appropriating $37,220 from the Matsu Trails and Parks Foundation for signage for the government peak recreation area with accompanying resolution 2598, a resolution approving the scope of work and budget for signage for the government peak recreation area. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press *3.
Ready, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing on ordinance 25-115 and resolution 25-098. Anyone that would like to testify on either this ordinance or resolution? Nobody online, sir? Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and Assemblyperson Hale, I guess, sir.
I move to adopt ordinance 25-115 and resolution 25-098.
Okay. Further discussion by the Assembly? Any objection from the Assembly? Seeing and hearing none, and ordinance 25-115 and resolution 25-098 have passed. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 25-116, an ordinance accepting and appropriating additional disaster relief funds in the amount of $447,459 for the November 2018 Cook Inlet earthquake with accompanying resolution 25-100, a resolution approving the amended scope of work and budget for the November 2018 Cook Inlet earthquake disaster relief funds. If you're on the phone and would like to speak to this, press *3.
I'll go ahead and open the public hearing on ordinance 25-116 and resolution 25-100. Anyone that would like to give input to the Assembly on either this ordinance or this resolution? We do not have any. Okay. Go ahead and close public hearing then, and Assemblyperson Gamble.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to adopt ordinance 25-116 and accompanying resolution 25-100.
Discussion by the Assembly, yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had a question for the manager. So we've had a lot of these over the years, these accept and appropriate for the 2018 earthquake. I didn't realize that we were still getting claims back in from that. Are there still claims outstanding that we think we may get reimbursed for in the future, or are we kind of coming to the end of this?
I'm going to phone a friend back there and see if our emergency manager knows that. He submits and tracks those forms that go to the state and to the CRC for review. I mean, if you'll remember, just several months ago, we just did another accept and appropriate for the 2012 floods. So sometimes these things go on for years, unfortunately.
I mean, I think that's clear enough. There could possibly be more.
So the question, Casey, is if you know off the top of your head if there are additional 2018 requests for reimbursements pending from the quake.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Well done.
Would you like more into that? Okay. Yes, there are.
Further discussion by the Assembly. Assemblyperson Gamble, you have your light on. Are you okay? Did you want to you have your light on there, okay. Is there any objection to passing ordinance 25-116, resolution 25-100? Hearing none, and both pieces of legislation has been passed. We're now next to the next audience participation, and we do have a sign up. So Gary, you want to come and address us, please?
I'll turn it on and off, make believe I just got here. I'm Gary LaRussa with Keystone Surveying. I'm here to talk about the vacation of I call it a pseudo section line easement on Finger Lake. That section line was put on the plat in error. It was never there. It was put on when Centennial Shores was created, and it was put on there by mistake. So the people are trying to eliminate that, and in exchange, they are improving public access between Finger and Cottonwood Lake. There's also remaining, just to the north of this 33-foot pseudo section line easement, a 50-foot easement, public easement, that connects the two lakes there as well. And that was reserved in that deed. That was initially borough property, and the borough reserved the easement in the deed. So I was hoping I could come up here because I knew it got pulled from the agenda, and I just wanted to answer any questions that there might have. I know it's confusing. I actually looked and saw that the packet that the assembly got, and I didn't see any of the information in there. Is that normal? It is normal? Yeah, all I saw was the minutes. Oh, okay. Well, I pulled it offline and it wasn't there. But anyways, okay. So if there's any questions, because I still have a minute and 14 seconds. If you would ask them, be great, because there isn't anyone that knows more about that there than I do.
Is it appropriate to ask the gentleman questions?
The Assembly have any objection? Because she is the Assembly person that pulled this, I believe, because you had a question, correct?
It was pulled by Assembly Member Nowers.
Oh, was you? Okay, I thought, I'm sorry, thought it was McKee. So,
It was I, D.
yeah, go ahead, ask the question.
Okay, so the gentleman that was just testifying is, since, as he said, he probably knows more about this than anyone else does. Are you in favor or not? I couldn't quite tell when we got around to the end of that thing where you were.
Through the mayor.
Say again?
Through the mayor. I am the surveyor that put this through the plotting board. So yeah, we want to vacate it. It doesn't serve any purpose. It can't be a road. All it could ever be is for walking, and there's 50 feet of easement to the north that's remaining in place. No one's ever used it, and we're improving the access between the two lakes of Finger Lake and Cottonwood Lake. So yes.
Okay, so I'll take that as a yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Madam Mayor, can I ask one question?
Yeah, sure.
Has the public access been completed?
No, that's a condition of approval, and that's actually, I saw that in your packet. So in order for the vacation to record, they have to coordinate with land management, and land management has to approve of the improvements before it gets vacated.
Okay.
So the applicant had been working with land management before they even applied, just to see, if there were any issues. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me take questions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big no, that's all. So we are still under audience participation at this time. Anyone have anything they would like? Yeah, come, Representative. It's probably been a while since you've been called that, I guess, but once you get the title, it sticks with you.
There we go. Jesse Sumner. Actually came down here because I saw 25-090 large lot district on the agenda, but I didn't realize until I got down here that it's for introduction, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it on the 18th of November, so maybe I could just talk about that now. I think this is particularly problematic just because you could have three people adjoining a fourth parcel. Say each of the three people had a half-acre lot and they were adjoining a 40-acre parcel. And from my reading of this, they could then petition to prohibit the subdividing of that larger parcel, even though they themselves are on small lots. I guess they would then be not in a non-attainment or non-conforming status, but there would be no repercussions for them. So I think this would, if you guys pass this, I think this would substantially increase the cost of housing in the Matsu borough, and it could create a real hodgepodge of parcel restrictions that are difficult to suss out. So I really think that this probably needs a little bit more consideration, and I see attached the comments from the Borough Planning Commission, and I have to say that I'd agree with those. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, come.
All right, good evening, Michael Bowles. So I'd like to speak on this action memorandum, 25-130. So, big supporter of emergency services. I was a combat medic in the Army, EMT trained, and fully support our emergency services personnel. But I'm looking at $14 million here, and then we also have over $20 million in debt. And my understanding is all of our fire stations and EMS facilities are fully functional. So I am curious why the borough is pursuing a $14,000 build in District 2. I'd also like to speak on 25-090. Excuse me. I am also in disagreement with that for maybe slightly different reasons. I see that as a huge infringement on personal property rights. Two-thirds of a neighborhood should not be able to weaponize the government to come against 1/3 of the neighborhood and then infringe upon somebody's ability to do what they want on their property. So I would ask that the assembly please consider when it comes across your desk on the 18th to vote this down. People should be allowed to do what they want with their own property. They shouldn't have to ask permission from their neighbors. They shouldn't have to ask permission from the government. We have great code already in place that protects neighbors from nuisance, from garbage, from noise, and anything else. If somebody wants to subdivide 5 acres down to 1 acre lots, that's their right. That's their property. Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to address? Yes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Assembly members. For the record, my name is David Wilson. I'm a resident of the city of Wasilla. Just a couple of comments first. I'll start with my own personal comments. I won't be able to attend the next meeting on the 18th, so just wanted to wish Assembly Hill, thank you for your service for your years on the Assembly. We all know how hard it is. We don't always have to agree, but I want to say thank you for your time serving. I also want to comment upon your priorities. As someone who used to see lots of those priorities, it really doesn't matter in what order they come, because your priority 4 may have the momentum and going, and that won't say that you don't want that legislator's time to do that or to have the borough staff to push for that. I would also recommend, just my own recommendation, that you may have other items on this list. You can have a list of your top priorities, but you should allow the borough staff or the manager to go ahead and pursue these other items if they do have momentum and opportunities. Because I know a few of these opportunities will come up, like supporting a proposed change to law to sex offenders, sex trafficking, and sex crimes. You always have a crime bill that comes up at the second part of the session. Allow the staff to go ahead and continue to promote your agenda, but without limiting them just to those top 4 or 5. Allow them to speak upon those items if there's a momentum to coming through with a shift. You never know what might happen in the midnight hour, and someone might call and say, "Oh, hey, can I get this? Oh, guys, the assembly didn't give me permission, and I got to go back to them." That's going to take a 2-week process for me to get that. So I would just recommend to allow that opportunity for that to occur and to happen. And there was one other item, but I will just want to say thank you for your opportunity and time to speak, and also want to thank you guys for coming out to learn a little bit more about our data. And Manager Brown came out this morning to our learning session of Matsu Measures. It's a free data platform that any person can use on our website to learn more about that. And yes to your proposal. And we should talk more about that, Manager Brown. I talked to Esther, and she said that sounds like a great idea to formalize and to chit chat about how we can work together and try to come up with a better cooperative group purchasing agreement so that we can all in the Matsu have more quality access to data. And I think that was a well outcome of that meeting. So thank you guys again for your time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to address the assembly? Yes, Jim?
Jay Van Diest, and I also think I'll be out of town for the next in November 18th, and I just wanted to speak on the large lot district ordinance coming up. Before that, I do appreciate, like Senator or Representative Wilson was saying, or Senator Wilson was saying, appreciate your guys' efforts, and watching that priorities list, it just reminded me that a camel is a horse put together by legislation, and it's work, but it has to get done. And so I appreciate you guys doing it and taking your time. I'll try to keep it short. My main thing, there's little things, but my main deal on the large lot is just probably with the 67%. If it was 100%, I'd be fine with that. If people can restrict their lots however they want to restrict them. But when it comes to restricting other people's lots, especially after the fact, after they own them, to put a restriction on them is not, I guess you could say it's not fair, but I think it goes against the principles of private property. But I just wanted to speak to that since I probably won't be here next week. But thank you again for your time. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jay. Anyone else? Yes.
Madam Mayor and Assembly, good evening. On a lighter note, I'm Kathy Cottle, City of Wasilla City Council. I just want to invite everyone. The City of Wasilla is doing a Follow the Yellow Brick Road on Halloween at City Hall from 2 to 5 p.m. It's going to be a free family fun event with candy stations, the Land of Oz, and Munchkin Land. I've heard our Public Works Department, I'm hoping there's lollipop kids there because the mayor is saying, yes, you will all dress up.
Yeah.
And our mayor is going to be Glenda the Witch, and whether you think she's a good or a bad witch, I'm going to leave that all up to you. But I hope everyone will come and bring their families. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Anyone else who would like to address the assembly? Do we have anybody online or nobody online? Okay. So we'll go ahead and close audience participation. And then we have the consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Resolution 25-104, a resolution allocating fiscal year 2026 Human Services Community Match Grant Program funding to local nonprofit agencies for the provision of critically needed essential health and social services to the citizens of the borough. Resolution 25-105, a resolution recognizing the Alaska State Department of Law and the Palmer District Attorney's Office for establishing a diversion program that has positively impacted the borough and state. AM 25-125, approval of final completion date extension for contract 2611B with Western Construction and Equipment for the Eska Street Granite Street, Utah Street, and Grand Avenue Improvements Project. AM 25127, approval of utility relocation costs of $194,560.55 to MTA Communications for the Fern Street Upgrade and Pathway Project within the city of Wasilla, and to extend the completion date to October 31st, 2026. AM 25129, authorization to vacate the 50-foot wide public access easement located on the southwest boundary of Lot 2, Kimberly's Lakeside Estates, plat number 2002-38. The property is located west of Florence Lake, northeast of Boot Lake, and directly east of North Crystal Lake Road within the northeast quarter, section 23, township 19 north, range 5 west, Seward Meridian. AM 25130, awarded bid number 2649B to H5 Construction in the contract amount of $14,083,785 to construct Public Safety Building 39. AM 25131, informing the assembly of the manager's signature on the fiscal year 2026 Enhanced 911 Spending Priorities Agreement and approving the fiscal year 2026 payments of $144,000 each to the cities of Wasilla and Palmer for call taker wages and benefits.
Okay, Assemblyperson Gamble, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda as read into the record by the clerk.
Okay, discussion by the assembly. Okay, hearing no objection, then the consent agenda has been approved, and then we do have a couple of items to consider. Go ahead, ma'am.
Resolution 25107, a resolution directing the manager to research and report on options of borough-owned property for the possible sale to the YMCA of Alaska. It was pulled by Assemblymember McKee.
Okay, Assemblymember McKee, go ahead. Need to move.
I move resolution 25-107 and just would like to ask a couple questions about it.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I guess first one is a philosophical thing. We've been talking about the fuel tax and all that sort of thing, and the majority of people seem to be against it. And one of the suggestions that they made is, why should we be spending money on some of the things that we do? Are there ways that we can cut that back? I don't know. I know that this is just considering options, but does anybody have any idea what this would cost, this reduced land value? Like Manager Brown, do you have any idea what cost that could be?
Go ahead, sir.
So through the mayor to Ms. McKee, I think what you're asking is, what's the value of the land if we were to sell it at less than fair market value versus the fair market value? And I think the answer depends on what land is selected. And I don't know that is been determined yet. So I can't answer that.
But if it was to be sold, it would come back to the assembly for the approval of sale. So at that time, the question would be appropriate and you'd have an answer.
That is correct, Madam Mayor. So what this resolution does is directs me to go work on this. And so that's been the way we do this. Instead of staff just charting out on our own, doing things, we bring it to the assembly, things like this that are going to require your approval anyway. So this doesn't approve the sale or anything. It just tells us, all right, manager, go commit staff time to this and bring us back options for what a less than fair market value sale might, or lease potentially, might look like, and then present all of those facts and figures. We have not done any of that work yet.
Anything, yeah. Right. And I was thinking that was probably the case. That was actually my second question. But I did have another question. If this goes through and the YMCA then picks up the tab for all of the other stuff other than the difference in price, that wouldn't affect the taxpayer, so the YMCA does it. Does the general public have access to that facility? Or do we have to sing the song or join the group or whatever it is?
Through the mayor to Ms. McKee, I believe that's the expectation, is that the public would have access to the facility, but it would be operated by the YMCA, not the borough.
Okay. Alrighty, then I withdraw my question on this. It sounds like it's going where I was hoping it would go. Thank you.
Assemblyperson Sumner, did you have a question or comment? No. Okay. Further discussion? Yes, Assemblyperson Nowers, go
I was
ahead.
hoping Assemblymember Sumner was going to sing the YMCA song. I just, I think this would be great to have an Olympic-size pool and facility in the valley. I think there'd be a lot of demand for that. I guess just because we don't know much about where they're at with this, like there's no concrete plan, I would just like to keep the option open for looking at a possible lease. That's what we did with the Little League folks that want to build a facility. So it kept the land in borough hands, but allowed the group to move forward with the plan and come to us. So I just like this to also, and I don't know if that requires an amendment or if that's enough. I heard the manager maybe mention lease, but to look at a sale or possible lease of land.
Okay, go ahead. Do you want a motion, sir, or are you fine?
Through the
with
mayor,
it?
I think that's fine. We can bring that option forward when we do the evaluation, as well as what a less than fair market value sale would look like.
Okay, and notwithstanding the Wasilla City Council person that's here, because this is not who talked to me, but I did have one of the city council people talk to me a couple of days ago that was in favor of doing what the proposal had been to the city of Wasilla. And they wanted to, and they knew this was on our agenda, and they didn't personally feel that it was a dead issue with the city of Wasilla either. So I guess my only recommendation would be some coordination with them so we don't spend a lot of money on doing something and then find out if the city of Wasilla wants it. I mean, I don't have any problem with that if they decide to do it, but, we need some coordination, I think, between the two of them or something. You're going to strong arm them, are you there, assembly person somewhere? Okay. So any other discussion on resolution 25-107? Is there any objection? Okay, all right. And then Madam Clerk?
AM 25-128, authorization to vacate the 30-foot wide section line easement on the northern boundary of Block 2, Lot 1, and Block 1, Lot 8, Centennial Shores, plat number 8922, located within the northeast quarter, Section 4, Township 17 North, Range 1 West, or 1 East, Seward Meridian, pulled by Assemblymember Nowers.
Okay, Assemblyperson Nowers.
So I would move AM 25-128. And my question on this, I just wanted confirmation from staff on this, because I did see in the plating board that they had a condition requiring prior construction of the public use access before recording the vacation. So I just wanted confirmation from staff that we are not, that the process will be that we approve this, but it still has to go through the plating before it gets recorded.
Go ahead, sir.
So through the mayor, Alex Strawn, I believe, is online. Caleb, if you can help us out with that, I think he's probably in the best position to address that.
Hi there, Alex Strawn, planning director for the borough. It is in the packet, the conditions of approval associated with this. And number 4 on the conditions of approval states coordinate with MSB Land Management to finalize plans to improve public access at the existing public portage, petitioner to construct agreed upon improvements prior to recordation. So yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, I appreciate that. And thank you, Mr. LaRusso, for confirming that as well, that the plan is to go forward with that. So I have no objection.
Further discussion by the Assembly? Is there any objection by the Assembly to passing AM 25-128? Okay, seeing and hearing none, then the legislation has passed.
Introductions for public hearing on November 18th, ordinance 2566, ordinance 2589, ordinance 2590, ordinance 25117 with accompanying resolution 25102, ordinance 25118 with accompanying resolution 25102, ordinance 25119 with accompanying resolution 25103, ordinance 25120, and ordinance 25121 with accompanying resolution 25106.
And that, okay. Yep. Assemblyperson Gamble.
I move to introduce the legislation as read into the record by the clerk and set the public hearings for November 18th, 2025.
Any discussion by the Assembly? Okay, the legislation then has been set for public hearing, and you will note that our next Assembly meeting will be on the 18th of November. Let me just read into the record. There's no unfinished business, and there are no vetoes. And let's see, do you have the vacancy report, sir?
I move to confirm the mayor's recommendations as follows. Transportation Advisory Board, Terry Gorlick. Gold Trail, RSA number 30, Maxim Zagoradai.
Okay. Discussion? I'm sorry. Or did you say something?
He said he did good.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't say the last name.
Oh, okay. Is there any discussion by the Assembly? Any objection by the Assembly? Hearing no objection, then the vacancy report has been approved. There is no new business, or there is no other new business, excuse me. And then, Madam Clerk, we have a referral.
Referral is ordinance 25123, an ordinance amending MSB 1759 Lake Management Plan implementation to update definitions related to motorized and personal watercraft.
Okay. Assemblyperson Gamble, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to refer ordinance 25-123 to the Planning Commission for 90 days.
Is there any discussion by the Assembly? Okay, hearing no objection, then the legislation has been referred. There are no reconsiderations. We are now to the point of parting comments. Assemblyperson McKee, parting comments, ma'am?
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound combative, but when Ms. Kaiser was speaking on the library issues, her kind of final statement was, well, let's just trust our librarians. And I think that's kind of what those of us who don't agree with some of those elections, that's where the problem started. And why about a year and a half ago, this thing really came to the surface, thanks greatly to Jackie Goforth. And I had a really good meeting with Hugh Leslie and Jillian Morrissey, and I'm going to get back to them and ask them where we are on some of this stuff. But the issue is very much alive. Nobody wants to ban books, but we do want to keep our kids safe. So that's my comment. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Assemblyperson Fonoff, are you still on, sir?
Yeah, no comment. Thank you.
Okay. Deputy Mayor, parting comments?
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank the dear Lord for all his blessings. Please keep our valley safe, protect our first responders, help the broken, the addicted. Please bless us, help us to carry your message, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Assemblyperson Hale, parting comments, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. So I want to address this AM 25-130. Station 39 is a ambulance facility. It's going to hold. It's going to have several ambulances staged there with their crews, and is very significantly going to impact and improve the response times, the ambulance response times throughout Butte, South Knik River, Sutton, Chickaloon, and Palmer Fishhook. So I just hope that the Assembly continues to support this project, and that whoever is sitting in this seat in December also continues to support this project. It's been a priority of mine for about the last 3 or 4 years to improve those response times. As you know, we no longer have an ambulance staged at the Butte fire station. Recently, we were able to stage one there during the peak seasons of the year, but this station is significantly going to improve services throughout District 1. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Assemblyperson Nowers, parting comments?
Yeah, also speaking to that has been a priority for a long time, and a lot of effort has gone into it. And not only will it improve response times up to the the Fishhook area, if you think about Ski Talk and GPRA and everything that's happening up there, because they'll be located right on the Glen Highway instead of coming out of the industrial district in Palmer. If you have ever been to the station there for the ambulance crews, which is kind of a converted old auto shop, there is a need for those folks who are our emergency responders. So I urge anyone who has questions about that to please contact our emergency services folks and understand what has gone into that and what service it provides to the community. And then I wondered from our clerk if we have enough election workers.
To Assemblymember Nowers, we were short a little bit earlier today, then we had enough, and then 5 people pulled by the end of the day. So right now we're still short, but I will say that I did, how I pointed out Senator Yunt at the last meeting. He did pull through and ask me for the application, and he started making phone calls. Now, I don't know if I've gotten anybody out of that, but he did, just so you know, he did follow up with me.
Okay, we've been spreading the word wherever we go, and I've heard the mayor as well, and I assume other folks have been letting people know, so we'll try to get folks sent your way.
Thank you.
The typhoon that hit has just the scale of that, losing your entire community is just mind-boggling to me. And I know I was over at the ice rink, and the community had gathered an amazing amount of material there over the weekend. From Friday, it was 3 boxes to I went in Monday, and there was a family coming in with their 3 girls all loaded down. Like, I had to hold the door so they could just get in there. So it was really nice to see the outpouring of support that those folks are going to need so much more than just those goods. And I know our animal shelter is taking animals, and one thing that was requested is that if you want to adopt a dog, not the animals coming from the villages because they're trying to get them reunited with their families, but some of the animals that are existing there to make space. So it's always a good time to adopt an animal, an even better time right now. And thank you to our animal control staff who are making that happen. And then I have a request for administration to provide us with more information on the Common Interest Ownership Act. I don't think that's really well understood, and I would just ask for a report explaining the Common Interest Ownership Act, and particularly any review that does not take place on the traffic impacts that are caused outside of any development within those properties, and emergency access review. Just kind of a comparison to how something like that would be treated versus a person coming to us to subdivide a neighborhood.
Any assembly have are okay about that, requesting that common ownership? Okay, all right. Madam Attorney, parting comments? No, okay. Right, parting? Madam Clerk, Assemblyperson Sumner, parting comments?
I just wanted to thank the Assembly for indulging me on prioritizing our legislative priorities. That's that's it. Thank you.
Assemblyperson Gamble, parting comment?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I also would like to speak in favor of Station 39. It is more than just a place to put ambulances. It is going to be a modern EMS training facility, and I believe half or more of it was funded by the state of Alaska through a grant. So I think it's a much-needed, important emergency services facility on this side of the borough. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So any other last-minute things? Mm-hmm. Okay, we will adjourn at 8 p.m. Thank you.
You will now be disconnected.